Why, hello there. If you don't already recognize my sultry voice, this is DJartt of the High Score 510 podcast. First of all, I would like to thank you for listening to our show. Second of all, I want to remind you with a shameless plug of our Patreon page. Join our growing community and help support an indie podcast. The perks of being a patron, you ask? Why, Jesus will bless you. So go check out patreon.com/highscore510. And for the price of a tall pumpkin spice latte, you can help DJartt get the newest choker from Claire. Wait, who wrote this? Who wrote this? Seriously. That's fucked up, man. This isn't a choker. It's real pearls, bitch. Regardless of which, we appreciate your support and hope you enjoy the show.
You are listening to High Score 510, where real talk is our vernacular.
Once someone starts talking Illuminati and conspiracy theories, I'm really good about shutting down the conversation.
Well, you know, Kanye probably has something to do with putting the blood in the soles of those Lil Nas X devil shoes. You know, that's gave him a status symbol so he can snatch people's souls.
How like the white man wants to keep us? Ever since Kanye says George W. Bush don't care about black people, it's been a slow into a very fast descent of his character, and over the course of the last 15 years, you know, they've been slowly chipping away at him, you know, and then he married a Kardashian, then, you know, you've been doing
But that's part of the sacrifice too. You get a Kardashian in the sacrifice.
Oh, that's part of it.
Oh yeah, that's part of it. They give you a Kardashian.
You get some of this succubus booty.
Yeah. It's Kardashians, shoe contract, their invitation to the White House. Those three are part of the Illuminati trifecta.
Aaron, I gotta call you out for liking LeBron James.
What?
I'm gonna call you out for being a LeBron James fan.
Why? What'd he do?
Because you always, me and Pedro was talking, and we came to a realization. You always get mad about, you know, how AAU affecting the game and how
don't drag me into
it. Pedro was here, and you always getting mad about how, you know, the NBA and the league is full of just a bunch of mediocre players, 3-and-D guys, and it's like the new fad is being a 3-and-D guy, right?
Yep, and LeBron loves him.
Yeah, who was one of the main pushers of 3-and-D guys because of the way he plays? LeBron. So your boy LeBron over here been basically just propagating 3-and-D guys, turning players who maybe wouldn't just be 3-and-D guys into 3-and-D guys. It's like he's like the bibbity bobbity boop motherfucker, just turning them into rabbits and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Just ding, you a 3-and-D guy. You want to play with me? Ding, 3-and-D guy. So your boy LeBron James is a what would you say? He's a 3-and-D pusher. He's a sorcerer of the dark arts of 3-and-D guys. So yeah, man, that's your dude, Aaron. So from now on, I want to hear you talking bad about your boy LeBron James every time you get mad about 3-and-D guys.
Man, he bring him on the team, but he ain't the one that's sitting here exploiting him. He ain't the one creating statistics. Last I know, LeBron ain't got no major in mathematics or multi-calculus variables.
Well,
right? The problem is those teams that get those guys who said, you need 3-and-D guys to win.
LeBron terraforms a team. He terraforms it to whatever his ultimate power.
He gets them paid.
He gets who paid?
The 3-and-D guys.
Well, then you should be mad. Even more reason for you to be mad, Aaron, because he getting 3-and-D guys paid, and everyone else is like, man, all I gotta do is be a 3-and-D guy. I get paid. Nah, See, that's the problem. See, he affecting the money too, Aaron. You should be mad at him. You should be calling him out.
Yeah, and that nigga owe me $5.
Pedro, I need a letter.
Let's go with the infamous W.
W. Woefully wilting or wondrous.
Willowing white woman.
Wonderful white woman. Wondrous white woman. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. You are listening to the High Score 510 podcast. You can catch us at High Score 510 on the Instagram, the YouTube, and the Twitter. Also at the .com, and check us out at patreon.com/highscore510 to access our exclusive content. We are here with
This is Aaron Grayson, also known as AG3, coming at you faster than the Georgia trooper grabbing that black lady from knocking on the governor's door. They grabbed her faster than you would see OJ getting kicked out of Spago's.
Am I the only one aroused right now?
Yes.
And we are here with...
Hello, everyone. It's your friendly captain, everybody's favorite truck driver, Captain P-Funk, coming to you faster than this invocata messing with my head.
I don't know which one of you no good, rotten, hard-headed niggas put your dirty hands on my walls.
There we go. And my name is Jarrett, a.k.a. DJartt, with 2 T's for a double dose of the tink tink. The D is silent, so it's just Jartt.
The most diabolical haters this side of the Mississippi.
I got a couple questions of the day. How's everybody doing today, though?
We're making it, Jarrett. You know, just every day with this Sugarfoot is a different day.
Different day, a different toe. When that Sugarfoot come for you, it always makes you think.
Spread your cheeks and lift your sack.
Anyways, question of the day. First question of the day. Did the NFL play a trailblazing role? Did it groom society to be accepting willfully of cancel culture?
Jared, you reach on this one now.
Yeah, because they're the pioneer. I see where Jared's trying to go. Because they were the
See what he
pioneer.
trying to.
What was that? 1991, they had the Super Bowl here playing for Tempe. And, you know, Arizona didn't recognize MLK Day. That's why I moved here. Because I ain't going to let no nigga stop me from making no money. So they boycotted Arizona. It's like, nope, we're pulling it out of that state. You guys can't recognize a true hero. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull our festivities from your state. So I see where you're going from, Jared. But was it them or was it what NCAA? North Carolina created it.
Maybe. NCAA is still using slave labor, though. So, you know, ipso facto, I don't know if they really canceling anything in that capacity. I guess I asked the question because you remember when Goodell took over and he started being like the law and order commissioner. And over the past, you know, how long has he been commissioner for, Aaron?
I don't know. It's been at least over 20 years.
Over 20 years. And over the last 10 years in particular, he's been super on, you know, this disciplinary action, disciplining players for off-field behavior, poor behavior, bad behavior, misbehaving, however you want to qualify it. Some of it's criminal, right? And so in that way, in the scope that NFL has power, influence on society, I just, you know, this week had a, you know, not necessarily an epiphany, but made a little connection of like, you know, I feel like cancel culture, Me Too, and then cancel culture has really blown up in the last few years. And it feels kind of like part of that could have been influenced by the NFL and people becoming accustomed or being a normal, you know, cause and reaction being seen of players in the NFL doing something that's looked down upon and then having some kind of consequence and having their season canceled because they missed out on multiple games, if not an entire season. Some players, you know, missed out on entire seasons because of poor behavior off the field that necessarily sometimes wasn't even criminal.
I don't know, Jared. I don't know. I see you trying to connect it.
What you think?
I thought you was talking. The whole time I thought you was talking about
Kaepernick.
No, the voting rights thing.
No, I'm not even getting to the voting rights thing. We'll get to that later. But like that was a big thing. Like fools getting suspended. Starting kind of with
that wasn't for cancel. That was for them doing shit wrong, man.
Some of them were doing shit wrong.
I mean, he was the moral police, but they was doing shit wrong, Jared.
But yeah, you just said moral police. There's a moral policing going on with cancel culture too. It's a moral policing. Like you have to be perfect, right? You have to be almost perfect. Otherwise, if you say something that's off color or that doesn't agree with, you know, some people call it the mass left movement or just like this woke
leftist movement.
If you don't behave within those guidelines, you know what I'm saying? The moral police will come for you, right?
See, the reason I say I think it's different because he was trying to put a moral standard on a private entity, right? That they are all employees from. And there are different jobs and there are different in the private sector that does have morality clauses and things like that. And that's all he was trying to do. And most of his penalties was shit that you already were getting in trouble with the law, right? you just got a little suspension or a little fine to go on top of it to say, hey, it's not acceptable. You have to at least try, right? Like, I mean, who was the first main victim of the NFL? Who's the first big one that got most of it? I remember who it was.
Oh, yeah, that was Tom Brady.
No, it was your boy. Come on, man. It was your boy.
Ray-Ski Rice?
Nope. Before him.
It was a Blackman?
Pac-Man Jones.
Oh yeah, Pac-Man. Well, Pac-Man Jones, we know
Pac-Man Jones.
He was ignorant.
And that was the morality. But look how it cleaned him up for at least, the last 12 years or 10 years that he was in the league. He was clean as a whistle.
He was not clean as a whistle. He was still doing some
all right,
shit.
maybe he was clean as a whistle, as a soccer referee's whistle on a muddy day on a mud field. He was that clean, which is a lot cleaner than he is without it.
Another reason why, what you said just triggered something that builds into my argument, though, or my question. The NFL was trying to build in some kind of morality, yet the NFL was still having issues with covering up, disclosing the effects of concussions to their players, was also pushing opiates and other super addictive drugs on their players to get them to, be able to play and causing them to, deal with addiction issues. Yet they were trying to, present some type of morality on the rest of the world. Same thing with this whole cancel culture. It's like you're trying to, push this woke morality on the world about the way you can and can't be or how you can voice your opinions. And I'm not saying that some things still don't deserve to be canceled. Once again, I'm not saying some things don't need to be canceled. Some things do, but not everything, not the way it has been.
Well, I don't see the NFL cancel them, though. They just give a penalty.
But the cancel culture is not dealing with some of the underlying issues that are actually some of the core issues of some of the reasons why, society has its ills. Saying the issue with socioeconomic despair and disenfranchisement is a real thing. The economic wage gap is a real thing. Racist and discriminatory legislation still being used and still being created is an issue. But yeah, we want to make sure we're putting this moral don't speak a certain way scope on things so we can feel good about the presentation of ourselves in society. Same way the NFL wants to feel good about its presentation that we are moral. We're not letting guys do drugs or, get in fights on the street and abuse their women and those things. And I'm not saying that some of those things aren't important to take a stance against. What I'm saying is just like the cancel culture, some of those things are important to take a stance against, but there's underlying issues that go to the root of some of the issues that need to be attenuated to. And if they're not dealt with properly, the issues are still going to persist. And you're going to just be a shiny little shell of something that still has a rotten inside. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't connect the two.
Has cancel culture made society better?
I'm not agreeing with cancel culture. I just don't connect these two things.
Has suspending players in the NFL made the NFL better or more righteous?
It's made it better. Those players are playing each week. I ain't got to read about them in the headlines. It don't feel like I do when I read an NC2A headline.
Hey, you know what? Everybody wants a superhero. I don't care about superheroes. If you're there to play on Sunday, play on Sunday. If you did something morally wrong, and it's criminal, yeah, cancel out, pay your dues, whatever. Don't cancel. No. Pay your dues to society. Pay your dues to society. When you come to talking about, let's say, for instance, Aaron's CUTTY Quarter, shout out today, somebody just partying and stuff. I don't care if that's their life. I don't give a damn what they do. If you're there to play a game, I'm tired of people looking through everybody's house like everybody's Christian.
People, we got to talk to God.
You can't. There's no cancel. You can't cancel. You're canceling people. You're getting away from. Just being a person alone, like you don't have any sins. And so cancel culture just makes it seem like you're holier than thou.
Yeah.
I never liked it. That's just my opinion on it. People like kids. Kids, I made a lot of dumb mistakes.
Yeah.
As a child. And if you're gonna judge me on that now, you know what? I'm fine with it. But I'm not the same person.
Yeah.
So
I don't feel like the NFL was canceling. I feel like you just had a punishment they were trying to stem some of the negative behavior that was happening.
I'm not equating them
players in the real world off the field. Mm-hmm. And so I don't think they led the way in cancel culture.
I think they primed us, though. I think they groomed society to be accepting of a sweeping, just like not retributive, but just like consequence canceling. Like you are getting a punishment, whether or not people think it's fair or not. Like, and I think that is something that the NFL with this mass.
It was collective bargaining, so it was fair.
We could talk about the minutia of what allowed it to happen.
That's a whole other story.
That's another discussion. But what I'm saying is that
bargains.
But what I'm saying is that the fact that they went, because collectively bargained, they can still decide to engage in parts of those collectively bargain agreements or not. They can still go on good faith. They can still go on, this is only contingency plan in the worst case scenario type deal. No, they decided to make it common ground and common regular behavior by the NFL offices, right? And it wasn't even like they had a clear, especially until recently. I don't even think they still even have a clear process where they even tell teams, we're going to review it. We're going to give you an answer within this amount of time. We're going to take these certain steps. They just like, we're investigating it. And some players wait a whole season before they get their consequence a year later for something they did 2 years ago. Because the NFL is like, we're going to do it in due time. And which is important to take time to do a proper investigation and be thorough. I'm not going to say that they're maybe not doing that. But what I'm saying is that there is like just a cancel culture. Man, we can go back, to your tweets from 4 or 5 years ago, and you're going to get canceled for that. When you was a teenager and you wrote this tweet, you're going to get canceled for that. Like the same process about how they adjudicate people's, judgment is similar. It's that there isn't a clear, formula. There isn't a clear structure for it. It's kind of like on the whims of the morality that the powerful body or the powerful mentality gets to then dictate on these people. So I don't know, man. I think there's something like with the power the NFL had to be able to, have this media platform that's just so big and so many people around the country, men and women, watch it. Like, I think it definitely groomed and primed our society to be accepting or more easily manipulated into accepting cancel culture. And cancel culture, like they're starting to see the pushback in the last couple year or so, but it took over. You know what I'm saying?
I don't see it because the people who are running cancel culture has nothing to do with the NFL. If anything, cancel culture kind of caught fire during the Me Too movement, and trust me, I don't think that had anything to do with the NFL.
I think everything's tied together, man. Especially when you got large media platforms that all cross over in different areas, and if they influence in one way, they can influence the other sides of those, crossovers. I think it's a direct correlation, though. I can break it down scientifically, but my opinion is a scientific fact.
Well, Jared, I got some beachfront property I want to sell you.
on 27th in Athens?
yeah, on 27th
like, you got some beachfront property I want to sell you. I got some beachfront property I want to sell you in Lancaster, California.
Exactly.
Right next to this fishing hole.
And East
Palmdale. Used to be it. All right, well,
Lancaster.
My next question, I guess, question of the day is, for a long time, there had been talks, and shout out to my buddy Andrew and Victor. I was having a conversation with them last night, and I had another little, not epiphany, but just a thought pop in my head.
Hey, you should have had them on the show. Call them up.
They're afraid to talk real talk. They're afraid to talk real talk. But I'll get them on here one of these days. You know what I'm saying? But my question is, we talked about Kanye West a little bit last week, and him being the richest black person in America, right?
Oh my God, dude.
My question is, okay, so typically, black excellence, black achievement has been tied, especially in our country, to monetary, achievements in a lot of ways, or being the first to do something. But being a black billionaire comes with a certain level of prestige now, right? And people talk about Oprah and Jordan and some of these other people. Well, making it as a billionaire or making it as a super successful business person is an important thing, and you have an air of prestige, you have an air of honor to you, right? Especially since there's so few black billionaires and black, multimillionaires and CEOs of companies in our country, right? And in the world in general, you could say. So my question is, did the Illuminati or somebody purposely make Kanye the richest black person so they could take away the shine from what it means to be a black billionaire?
Why, so I can fall in love with some cute black man that teaches white people everything they know about the shrimp industry before they kill him 30 minutes into the movie? Huh? Hey, why don't you walk down that tunnel, black man? Hey, black man, turn on the generator. This dinosaur is out there. Hey, black man, look out. He's got a gun.
Jared, I wish you had told me you was coming with these wild-ass conspiracies so I could finish drying my clothes in the laundry right now. Instead of them sitting there. I'm gonna let Pedro talk while I go put my clothes in the dryer real quick. And that was my opinion right there. That these last 2 sentences, my opinion on what you said.
In sports news, Kevin Durant was fined $50,000 for his misogynistic, it's classified misogynistic and homophobic messaging he sent to Michael Rapaport. Michael Rapaport came out this week after a disagreement in a spat with KD and posted screenshots of their IG messages. Once again, KD, too sensitive on social media or nah?
I would think by this time KD would have grew up. But I guess we're not going to go there. I guess he's not going to make it. I'm saying that, and I know people that they're well into their 50s. I thought they were going to grow up. That's a person that's going to be who he is, and it ain't. I don't see him change. Knowing good and well. But with that being said, like everybody else on sports news or is talking about it, all the pundits, Michael Rapaport, that was the most bitch-made move ever. What kind of whole shit was that? You a man and you worry about another man, so you gonna screenshot his DMs? What are you, 13-year-old girl? What the hell is wrong with a man that just tells the world, hey, this is what KD doing and he bullying me? What kind of man are you? I'm starting to, Michael Rapaport is starting to, just a couple of people on the internet start to get to me. They don't know how to internet the right way. Kevin Durant, and I love this guy, Talib Kweli, always giving into whatever, anything somebody posts on his thing, he bring it up. Look what this girl said about me. Look what this guy said about me. He's a racist. We know people are racist. Why are you giving those people attention? Just rap. Damn. But no, Rapaport's been doing this. He's been acting like this for a minute. He's got under a couple of people's skin. And this is some of the most bitch stuff I've seen. If y'all have a conversation, you having a conversation. The world don't need to know about that.
Yeah, I would say, for me, I agree with you, Pedro. Like Michael Rapaport, I think, he's trying to, stay relevant in some way, and he still has a shine from, jobs he's done and the characters he's played in movies and whatnot. So he's still a famous person. He's still gonna be able to. He's gonna be fine with his money and all that. But at the same time, posting messages that's going on between you two, for me is, I can't respect that. You don't screenshot messages out of context and just put them up there on so people can just all of a sudden like start feeling sorry for you. That is some manipulative, like feel sorry for me type bullshit. Because you don't see much of what Michael Rapaport says. Now, KD, on the other hand, was going on a rant, and I don't know why KD, he needs to get back on that court because he got too much time on his hand. KD needs to fix that hamstring, needs to fix that ankle, needs to fix whatever it is, get on the court and spend less time on social media, period, point blank.
Wait, so did it start off as a private conversation, Jarrett?
It was a private conversation. It was in the direct messages.
I mean, but that doesn't make it private. Like someone could direct message me talking shit, and I ain't trying to start a conversation with you.
Well, this is the first one. It looks like Michael Rapaport had tweeted saying some shit, talking shit about
but he tweeted,
KD
so it was out in the open
in his feelings, right?
So, see, that's the thing. It looked like it was out in the open, and then the problem was KD took it to DM so he could go a little, which I have no problem with that because it's private. With him going to the DMs.
Here's the thing. Kevin Durant should not be mad about what Michael Rapaport is saying about him on social media. There's so many people who are mad, like talking shit about you on social media. So I get it that Michael Rapaport they've met before in person, like once, I believe. Michael Rapaport is a New York fan. He's a Brooklyn fan. So yeah, you're a prominent figure as a Brooklyn fan. Don't talk shit about me, and keep my name out your mouth. That's all he had to say. Just like, hey man, I don't want you talking about me. If you're gonna talk negatively about me, just don't even say anything about me at all. Leave it at that instead of getting super aggro. He must see this thing. He needs to get on that court because he got angsty. You know what I'm saying? Like they said it best here.
See, that's why these men nuts busy. See, they got to keep their nuts busy.
And KD ain't been able to keep his nuts busy on that court. So he like, man, I gotta keep my nuts busy on this IG and on this Twitter because he can't flex on nobody on the court right now.
And see, I didn't know that KD. See, this is the problem. I think it's twofold, right? I don't think there's any right in this situation, like you said, with Michael Rapaport reporting out. But at the same time, you know, like what he made was a public tweet.
Yeah,
and it was about KD's interview where KD was, you know, get sour at TNT again. And I agree. Like, don't do the interview or just say, no, I'm not doing the interview today. It's a twofold problem. You know, those are the things that brings in the money, that helps pay him and gives him the money and be able to have the career and the life he wants to live. Mm-hmm. And with that comes the criticism that he doesn't like or can't take.
Extra scrutiny, yeah.
He can't take any scrutiny, it feels like.
Well, that's the thing. And I think that's something they need to tell these athletes. Like, you are going to get unfair scrutiny. You're going to get unnecessary scrutiny at times.
They know that. I think he just can't take it.
I don't think
other athletes know it. Other athletes take it.
I think other athletes take it. Oh, I think other athletes have realized it, but I think that other athletes feel like every piece of scrutiny has some kind of valid base behind it, and they have to, like, or at least in KD's, like, nobody taught him, like, motherfuckers are gonna talk bad about you because you're a public figure, and yeah, you have feelings, and that shit might affect you, and that's a conversation about, you know, athletes or prominent, you know, figures' mental health and the way the world shapes them or impacts them, but at the same time, like, just know, like, because you're a public figure, you're going to get stuff that's not even relevant. People are going to say shit about you that's not even relevant to who you are as a person, not even relevant to what you've done as an athlete or as an entertainer, as a person. And you got to just, like, ignore that shit. Don't like, Cameron came on and was like, he's blocked like over 200,000 people. He's like, don't be on my page if you want to say negative shit. If you want to be here and enjoy my shit, like, I'm here to, you know, this is my page, this is my space, then enjoy it. If you're going to talk shit and say negative shit, you're going to get blocked.
Yeah, you know that's part of it. You block him. It's twofold. KD just really has a hard time with DJartt. Other athletes, they hear it. They just don't put it out there. Yeah. They hear it. They get the shit. I remember hearing Shannon Sharp saying about blocking people. Like, you just do it and you just keep moving on. KD can't move on. And then some of the stuff is like, he can't take any criticism. That's the problem. If I look at it on KD's part. But then my other problem I have is the privacy part. And like, I don't think Michael Rapaport, I ain't gonna lie, I might have not done it. I don't know. I haven't been in this situation. If someone's hitting me up privately and I'm like, look, dude, I did everything in the public. You hit me up privately. I'm going to make this public again, right? Mm-hmm. Or before it becomes a he said, she said, and this and that. You know, I don't know if Kevin Durant was trying to make this private, because I can see this. Private things need to stay private. Like I told you before, Jarrett, this comes down to the Donald Sterling thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I don't agree with anything Donald Sterling said or how he lived his life and who he was, but that was a private conversation with his someone he was in some type of relationship with.
Yeah.
And so for me, it's like, when is a private conversation a private conversation?
I think it was whack that he posted.
It should start in December, and it's fucking March, and it's still going on.
Yeah,
so maybe he's like, I'm tired of this.
Yeah, I think it was whack that he posted it. But at the same time, like, it starts with KD not being able to take that criticism, and this has been a reoccurring issue with KD not being able to let shit go and not, you know, have these egg accounts. And just grow up, man. Like, just like, let's just slide off your shoulder. People talking about you, they talking about you. Anyways, I guess my question is, who's the worst person in this case? Is it Rapaport for reporting this, or is it KD for not being grown enough just to let this shit go and writing all this?
Let's do this. Let's call this one of those NFL ties. You know, you tie somebody in the NFL or in hockey or in soccer. It's a tie, because both of them have been doing this for a while.
I agree. It's an NFL tie. I'm having a hard time. I might have to go with KD. If it's a tie, it's not a hockey tie or a soccer tie, because they're used to ties. NFL, you ever see an NFL locker room after a tie? Everybody acting like they lost. The coaches, the players. You know, you see a soccer game after a tie, they're like, there's always one team happy in a tie, at least in a soccer game and in hockey. Hockey doesn't have ties anymore because they do the shootout.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
But soccer, they get super excited. They're like, you know, like, oh man, especially you're the weaker team and you either got a lucky goal at the end, or if you were the better team that was losing the whole match, you got a goal at the end. You're like, dude, we didn't lose. I am leaning more towards KD, man. You got to also know, if you put shit, if you type something, threats to someone, it could get out. I mean, I don't see what Michael Rapaport did as being that bad, right? Like, it's one thing if me and you were going back and forth and like I'm giving you the business and I'm talking shit. And then I'm like, hey, man, he over here threatening me, man. Like, I started bagging on him and I'm leaving that shit out. That's fine. But it's like, dude, don't type the shit up. As soon as you type it up.
Well, I like how KD was like, 10 a.m., catch a steak on the corner. Meet me there.
Where does it at? Man, hold on. I didn't read this
Down
page.
at the bottom.
Oh.
I'm going to spit in your face when I see your ass.
I might change my Cutty corner after what I just seen.
10 o'clock. He said 10. So he was just going off. I mean, he was
KD
rolling.
was trying to really get gangster, though. So I do see why Rapaport would be felt a little bit off.
Man, I'm telling you, he might have felt threatened because he didn't report it back in December when this shit started. I can just imagine I didn't stop. And I feel like there's a lot more. These are just the highlights. I feel like there's a lot more text behind this.
Yeah. Oh, Aaron, this just in. In.
What would Michael B. Jordan do?
Kobe.
Michael B. Jordan just had some new unpleasant DMs sent to him by Kevin Durant, calling him all kinds of bitches and motherfuckers. Aaron, what would Michael B. Jordan do?
I'm going to have to talk to the NBA. I'm Michael B. Jordan. I'm going to make that call to Donald Sterling and to, he no longer around. I'm going to make that call to David Stern. Oh, he no longer around. I guess I'm going to talk to whoever in charge now. Until then, they got to give you the Donald Sterling treatment and take that phone off your hands. I'm going to do it all. And then I'm going to be in Space Jam. And I'm going to tell LeBron, I'm going to take this ball off your hands. I'm Michael B. Jordan. I'm the only person that's allowed to have his shirt off in Space Jam.
Is he in a Space Jam?
I hope not. I don't know. I'm not watching this Space Jam either. I didn't watch the first one. Why the hell am I going to watch this one?
Michael B. Jordan.
I didn't magically age backwards, Jared. I ain't watching this Space Jam. Thought I was too old for the other one. I'm sure as hell not watching this one.
I want to see Michael B. Jordan try and portray Shannon Sharp in a biopic.
Come on.
You think he would get the accent right?
He'll be sounding just like he did in Just Mercy. Horrible. He only got one kind of accent, Wakandan.
He's East Oakland, Wakandan.
All right, y'all. Well, we are here with special guest who's popping in today, our New Orleans Jungle Ball correspondent and our Black People Saving. Sorry. Black People Saving baseball analyst, Powell, Mr. Lito-P. What's up, Powell?
Man, how are y'all? Happy to be on this beautiful Sunday afternoon.
Happy to have you on, man. How are things going out there?
We're at St. Roch Park in the 8th Ward, right by the cemetery. And our game was earlier today, but the game right now is the game of the week, Twin City versus the Monarchs, which are both kind of legacy teams in the league who, are always, make deep playoff runs. And both teams got a lot to prove this year. And so that's kind of who's playing right now. And there's a lot of energy, people selling food, music, just chilling. And actually a lot of the players from earlier games still around to watch. So, and then actually it's a beautiful field. We got kind of classic New Orleans houses here, the cemetery right there, and then the big St. Roch church right there. So
okay, nice.
This is the surrounding environment.
How many games they play in a year, in a season?
I think each team probably has about 20 games. I mean, we have 4 different uniforms. So I think at least if we want to use them each about 5 times, I think we got to play 20 games.
Wait, so who won the title last year?
The Tigers won the title last year, and they are set to be a dominant team again this year. They added some players, and they won big earlier today as well. So, yeah, okay. The Tigers are the team to beat. They got the big icy rings, with championship and Tigers on it, and so they're all wearing their jewelry here today, and, letting it be known that they're the champs.
And so this is the first week of games this week, or was it last week?
Yes. This is opening day today.
It's opening day. We are at opening day at the Jungle Ball in the 8th Ward of New Orleans. This is tight. So, Pal, I got to get to something. I heard that there was, I wouldn't say a coup, but I hear you're playing for a different team this year, and that there was maybe a you know, I wouldn't call it collusion, but there might have been a mass exodus of players from one team to other teams. So can you tell us about what happened? What transpired that make you switch teams?
So after last year's kind of not so successful campaign on the Indians, this trade took place. So when the Tigers won the title, the team that loses the World Series has to pay for the nightclub of the team that won. So we were at a lounge called the Truth Lounge on Tulane and Broad. And so the Twins, they lost to the Tigers. So they had to pay for the open bar and food for the whole league to come party they have to pay for the Tigers celebration party. Basically that night is like all the managers, all the players, all the, you know, just different stakeholders in the league are always, you know, at that championship party. I was in the building and the ladies were in the building, I just want to say. But basically what happened was a lot of people start to get to drinking and, you know, a lot of trades take place. And so that night in the club, I guess some players, the core nucleus of our squad was frustrated with the losing season. And they connected with the Marlins, who were another team that had potential, but that couldn't get over the edge. And they orchestrated one of the most like ridiculous trades. Like Jared would be proud fantasy wise of this trade. It was basically like our 6 best players for their 6 worst players. And my homie, who was at the club, he was like, Powell, our team is about to get totally fleeced in this trade. You might want to become a free agent before it gets really ugly over there. So I was like, good looking out. I'm on it. And so the Indians, in fact, don't even have a team this year, totally disbanded. And there are players from the Indians kind of spread throughout the league. There's 2 of us on the Rays, which is my current team. Few guys on the Twins. There's, you know, we just kind of sprinkled out into the 10 teams in the league. So yeah, so that's what happened to the Indians. It was hilarious. And, you know, I ended up in the right spot. I actually think I like the Rays right now. I like the culture. There was some toxicity going on in our clubhouse last year. And so I'm in a good spot now. And, you know, it's all love.
Man, Powell, that sounds more exciting than the MLB's winter meetings.
Yeah,
man, because instead of being a bunch of stuffy white men not telling us what's going on behind closed doors and then finding out players getting traded, you guys do it all out up front.
Man,
hey, how can we get invited to the next one of those?
Well, you could come down for the Juggle Ball World Series. Come down for the Juggle Ball World Series, and it's on. Because no, absolutely. I mean, just the politicking that was going on in the club that night, like it was classic, man. It was hilarious.
I'm trying to figure out. So it's better not to. It's almost better just to get like 3rd or 4th place, is what you're saying.
Yeah. No, that's right. It's almost better to get knocked out in the 2nd round than to be in the World Series and lose.
Because you gotta pay for the open bar,
dude. You gotta pay for the club. You gotta pay for the security. You gotta pay for the hose. You gotta pay for everything.
That makes that World Series game exciting because nobody wants to lose it at that point.
Facts, exactly.
But if you going against a juggernaut and you know you ain't got no chance, it's like, man,
hey, you might become David real quick.
Right. And so this year, just a little forecast. The Hurricanes were a team that did not play last year, and they have reunited and re-entered, and they're definite, and they basically have the ace in the league. Their team isn't that deep on everything else, but you know how it is when you got a dominant ace, like, you know, who's just a workhorse. You know, you can make a deep run. So they're kind of a team to look at.
Did he play ball somewhere?
All these guys, a lot of the, it's a good question. I don't know about him. A lot of these guys are like D1 and D2 football guys. Yeah. Like there's a few guys on who were like linebackers on LSU on my squad. At damn near everybody's outfield used to be like a cornerback or a safety in the yeah. SEC. There's actually a guy on the Monarchs here who currently is a safety on the Toronto Argonauts in the Canadian Football League. Since they've been kind of shut down due to COVID, he's down here playing jungle ball. So I'm kind of in a unique role because I'm not all that athletic, but I'm like a skilled baseball player. Whereas like a lot of these dudes are hella athletic, but don't have like hella baseball backgrounds.
Yeah, you're like the H&R Block guy for all the people who trying to get they
come on, dude,
get their bills in order. It's like, I got the money, I got the skills. Well, Powell, do you have a Black People Saving Baseball for us today at all?
I think we need to shout out the I think his name is Yeremy Mercedes of the Chicago White Sox, who in his first, I think his 8 major league at bats went 8 for 8 with the Chicago White Sox. And that was just incredible. Jared, what are you kind of thinking about as far as the MLB season? You know, what players are you excited about? And
well, Yordan Alvarez of the Astros seems to be locked in. He's just popping balls everywhere. But one dude that I want to highlight this week, I was talking to Aaron about earlier, is Raimel Tapia of the Colorado Rockies. He has had a rough first week of baseball after opening day because he's had some plays in the outfield. We'll just say he's had some plays in the outfield that are forgettable. One ball was hit, I believe it was opening day, that wasn't going to go out of the park, but he jumped at the wall and it hit out of his glove and went over the fence for a home run.
I saw that.
But because Justin Turner ran back to first and Bellinger passed him, Bellinger ended up being out, but Turner got the run. So it ended up being a 2-run home run where only 1 run was scored. Then yesterday, Tapia had another play where he tried to make a play and he saved the ball from going out of the park, but the ball popped out of his glove and flew back into the park and he hit the wall and then laid there like, fuck, man, I didn't get it. And the people were like, the ball's over there. And he laid out like that. And then he got up, ran to get it. But by that point, it was too late. And he allowed an inside the park home run. So he's having a tough time in the outfield this week. But he is somebody that if I could watch him play outfield and try and rob home runs or play balls at the wall for the rest of the season, I would.
You know, here's the Black People Saving Baseball hot take is Justin Turner's days in the MLB are numbered. But that play running and his at-bats, I feel like he's kind of was the case of a right place, right time type of situation. And I really don't think he's that good. I'm sure there's some 16-year-old in the Dominican who is way better than him right now. And it seems like, you know, he's kind of would be a classic Billy Bean pickup, like, you know, after every other team has passed on him.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he's gonna be that guy who's just gonna be a good contact guy. But he had that one year where he was hitting some home runs, but I think he came back down to earth. Yeah, you're a contact guy, you're a solid hitter, but you shouldn't be the 3-hitter, and that's why the Dodgers didn't win the World Series when you got him as your 3-hitter. You know, once he wasn't your 3-hitter anymore, like the Dodgers had a better chance to win a World Series. So
right. You know, actually, I think Black People Saving Baseball needs to acknowledge the commercial that Tim Anderson did featuring King Von. Rest in peace, King Von. But if anyone knows the importance that King Von played to the South Side of Chicago and the Chicago rap scene and the streets as well, for Tim Anderson, a Major League Baseball shortstop, to do a commercial, you know, with him, I feel like, you know, is Tim Anderson really taking the reins of BPSB.
Yeah, BPSB. Shout out to Tim Anderson sponsorship. Come on our show.
Come on our show, Tim Anderson. Timmy.
Anyways, well, let's get into some sports news.
Well, Jared, quickly, do you want to do a little segment with my manager, Justin?
Yeah, we could chop it up with him.
Yo, Justin. Yo. You ready to holler at some of these guys on the podcast?
Yeah, we're talking.
All right. Here, I'm gonna give you the right ear. Yo, can y'all hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up?
What's up,
he got it. We're doing well, man. How are you doing?
I'm blessed.
Awesome, man. I see you got the White Sox. That is my new team because they got the most brothers on the team. So I appreciate you wearing the White Sox hat. That's what's up. We were just talking to Powell about opening day in the Jungle Ball League. So what would you say is your outlook for the season?
Well, I think we can do some big things. My team as a whole, it's just like we just won't get better. You can see it. So that's a good thing. When each individual, you know, work on their game and their craft and everything like that, and they see what they're doing wrong, you know, and you see the adjustments, and that lets you know that they really invest in the team. Maybe you're dropping your shoulder, or you stepping too early or whatever like that. And when you see them make them adjustments, that lets you know that they're invested in it. They're invested in themselves, and they're invested in the team as well.
Okay.
So that's always pretty big for the team as a whole.
How long have you played in this league, the Jungle Ball League?
I've been in the league for at least 13 or 14 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
How would you describe, what would be the strength of your team? Is this a power hitting team? Is this a,
So basically, it's a new core of guys. So now, between the preseason and the first game, it's like we're trying to find our identity.
Yeah.
And it's just basically we playing together. You know, one man not bigger than the team. We're not a power hitting team. We don't have like the athleticism wise is not all across the board. But at the end of the day, like, you know, we're gonna thrive off playing together.
When did the Jungle Ball League, when did that begin?
1960 something, I believe.
Right.
So
okay.
It's been around for a very long time, and I've been watching it since I was a kid. My father played in it.
Oh, what? I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been around for a nice little bit.
Okay.
1969.
Okay, 1969. All right, 1969.
What's up?
If you look at the overall players on the league in the league, you get a lot of guys that could have went in different directions. So you know, the street life and all kind of different things like that, you kind of avoid it by playing in a league like this because you're around older guys, and some of the guys are policemen, they're firefighters, so you know they could kind of talk to you, pull you on the side, like, look, you know, leave such and such alone, like leave them dudes alone, you know, stick with us or whatever like that. If you need a job, you know, I done seen a bunch of young dudes that probably was like, you know, selling drugs or whatever like that, and an older guy pull them to the side and say, hey, look, you know, if you need a job or whatever, I could get you a job. So you got guys working with sewage and water board now, and things like that, and playing ball and playing baseball now, and pretty much change their life. We tend to get a bad rep sometimes because of the fact of, you know, you get a bunch of, you know, people together. Of course, there's gonna be you know, stuff's gonna be flying. We are adults at the end of the day too, so you're gonna have curse words flying, and the competitiveness, you know, it gets high. So basically, you know, it'll be a lot of rah-rah sometimes. You know, but at the end of the day, it's all love. So, you know, we say a prayer together after the game.
Yep.
And, you know, at the end of the day, we say family. 1, 2, 3, family.
My next question is player comparison. Lito-P, Powell. What player would you compare him to?
Well, he's definitely a utility guy. So, you know, he pretty much do it all, each position.
Sound like Jeff Turner. Justin Turner.
Yeah. And he can pitch too.
He
played a dominant game today. Yeah.
Okay.
What's that? Is he throwing gas out there?
So basically, throwing gas only gets you so far. We see that with Chapman all the time. So throwing gas gets you so far. When you pitch from upstairs, from knowledge, and hey, you know, maybe I see this guy launching, you know, out too fast, so I'm gonna throw him a curveball. If I see, you know, he's a little slow, I'm gonna throw him something high and hard. So he's pretty much a crafty pitcher. You know, you have some guys that just know how to hit their spot, inside, outside. So he definitely a crafty pitcher. Picked some quality in it for us today, and it led to us getting a victory.
Oh, okay. So Powell over here throwing like Jamie Moyer.
Fuck y'all.
Cutty Corner shoutouts. Cutty Corner shoutouts.
It's time.
We're burning now. God, if you let it in, hell. So cold and bleeding now. I'm in with it, man. Gonna let you down. He had sex with my mama. We're broken people now. I just said I need a backy.
Aaron, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
I do. My Cutty Corner shout out this week goes out to just people that lack the understanding that if you got something good, if you got a job, try to keep it. Try to keep it, right? And I mean, people of all levels, like just do try to keep your job, right? And this goes out to this world we live in now, that everything you do should not be public knowledge, right? Or every thought you have should not be public knowledge. Do what it takes to keep that job. And don't put what you're doing in your private time out in the air for public to see. And this goes out to Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce, who decided, hey, you know what? I'm going to sit here and record myself with a stripper rubbing my neck, poker game going on in the house, another stripper twerking on the ground behind me, and I'm going to invite another stripper over and tell her she want to come over here and make some money if you in town. If you in LA, stop playing, girl, come make some money, right? Paul Pierce, dude, you got a job at ESPN. I don't think you're good at it, to be honest. No one really likes it. You come out with some crazy shit. You can't let your personal bias go. Yeah, said LeBron James is the 10th best player of all time. Then you get on the video that you promote on your Instagram. You go on Instagram Live with strippers twerking, people throwing poker chips at him. Paul Pierce, man, I don't understand. Like, are you not want to live the lifestyle you have? Did you not think and understand like this might affect my job? I have no problem with that as the party you had. You know, you paid for some services. They were rendering those services. I'm not coming high and mighty. I ain't one of those that come high and mighty. Oh, what kind of party you were having? It looked like it was calm. It didn't look like it was like ridiculously crazy. No need for police. The women look happy. Everybody look happy. Problem is you putting it on Instagram. And the next thing you go, you know, I got to hear KG bitch about how you getting wrong, then how you getting wrong and you getting canceled. That's not getting canceled. It's called getting fired. There's a difference in the two. There's getting canceled, there's getting fired. You gonna get your ass fired.
Pedro, do you have a Cutty Corner shout out?
Okay, I'm gonna do two. I forgot the second one because my diabetes is acting up. And the first one is about diabetes acting up. It's affecting. I thought it was just me, Aaron, and some family members, but it seems to be making its way across the board. And it just recently, it seems it's getting younger and younger. It's funny because Powell brought this up in that corporations feeding high fructose corn syrup to the community. And what he didn't understand, they also doing it to the white community. I've learned of some new white folks just getting diabetes. I've learned of young people having diabetic symptoms. I don't know what they might. So this Cutty Corner shout out goes out to, I guess, who's in charge of putting somebody's supposed to regulate
diabetes
food.
in somebody's body. God,
no, come on, no. There's something science is accelerating pancreases to act out and sugarfoots to manifest sooner than it should be. There's something to do with the processed sugar. The FDA needs to look into, because we are, like I said, there's young people that are suffering from symptoms of diabetes. I've had family members, my grandchildren, actually have episodes of high sugar or symptoms of high sugar being in their streams that didn't affect me. And Aaron ate off the donut truck daily.
2 donuts a day. 2 donuts a day.
Daily.
50 cents.
My sugar, I know my sugar was affected by it because I have the double gene DNA. So I have the 2 genes, from my father and from my mother's side. So I was going to be affected by it. Now they're putting calories in sugar, something doing to stretch the sugar to make it more, I guess, manufactured so they can use it in foods, so they can go ahead and make their 10 million cases of Cinnamon Toast Crunch, whatever they're doing, and putting in soda pops. If you read the label on soda pops, it used to be 50% sugar. Now it's like 48 and 42%. But of what kind of sugar? And something's going on where the FDA is not doing their part in checking the science and doing the research. That was my first Cutty Corner shout out. My second Cutty Corner shout out, I forgot because my blood sugar's high.
Well, my Cutty Corner shout out. I don't even know if I really have a Cutty Corner shout out. We kind of talked about it a little bit. I guess my Cutty Corner shout out goes out to the documentary that's on HBO Go. It's called The Day Sports Stood Still. And it's talking about the NBA players who decided.
Did you watch that?
No, I have not watched it.
I wasn't going.
But it still goes out. My Cutty Corner shout out goes out to that documentary, and it still goes out to the NBA players. Some of the voter rights things, I'm gonna give them credit. They help make that a bigger issue. I think there was already people who were putting in the work to make voting rights more accessible to people, but they put it more in the spotlight with LeBron James talking about it, and then them getting the NBA to support and other sports teams to like volunteer their facilities to make voter places for people to safely vote. So I give them credit for that. I'm not taking away credit for them stepping down. But they're making a documentary about the day sports stood still. The world stopped. The sports world stopped. MLB, hockey. You got MLB making moves now to make a political stance after you did this. So, yeah, y'all get some credit. But y'all decided to come back a day and a half later, be like, don't worry, we come back. When y'all really could have, instead of kicking the can down the road and doing a little bit then, y'all could have picked the can up and carried it down the road to the point that you saw fit. You know what I'm saying? Some real changes that you decided were the stipulations of those changes, not the negotiated changes, but you made the world stand still. If that's not power, that's not leverage in that moment, that's not momentum in that moment, then I don't know what is. So to lionize this moment where you made the sports world stand still, and then you just came to some general compromise afterwards, I'm still disappointed in that. And I'm not gonna say that they didn't do good with it, and good isn't being done by what they came to compromise with. But all I'm saying, like I said, is that I was disappointed that y'all could have really picked up that can and carried it down the road and brought it to the point that you thought was fit in this moment in time. And yeah, y'all weren't gonna fix everything. It's too systemized, it's too ingrained in everything, but y'all could have changed even more. But I give y'all credit. Y'all getting your documentary written about the day y'all made sports stand still. And some good has come from that, but so much more could have come from that, and so much more. Like, there's nothing saying that you holding out longer would have stopped all the good that has come from it happening. It's just that more good could have happened, and could have expedited some of these processes. But now you got motherfuckers who are making laws to change things back around, change things back, and regain some of that power that y'all that compromise helped, kick the can down the road a little bit. Well, they kicking it back down the road, back towards you a little bit now. But y'all made the sports world stand still. So let's write a documentary about that. Let's talk about how great it was a moment in time. Stop jock riding these motherfuckers for almost doing as much as they could have. That is our show, my friends. That is our show. Any final words you'd like to say to our fans out there?
Jarrett's still stuck on this. He ain't gonna never get over this.
Yeah, that's right. See, your dog know it, Aaron. Pedro, any final words?
Just keep taking our medicine, I guess. I guess Big Pharma want us to have this high fructose diabetes. So we can take all this Omestic and Invicana and Levemir and Glucophage and Glipizide and Genument.
Big Pharma pay people to get diabetes and spread in the community.
Starting to sound like it. Epic conspiracy.
They pay people to take the vaccine that gave them the diabetes.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to our show. We hope you guys have a blessed week and blessed weekend. Stay healthy, stay safe, and we will leave you with this.
Please, I think it's time for a poem. Doom comes like a vacuum, because death sucks and smells like a raccoon or a baboon. Death kills us like crack killed Pookie, like Schwarzenegger killed Dookie. Chewbacca was a Wookiee. Revolution.
Boo! Hey, Erykah Badu, that was real gay, my nigga. Cut that out.
Stuff was manipulated in the Bible. That's not the real Bible. They use that stuff to keep power. And so if you look at, there's a verse for everything that a powerful person does. There's a Bible verse for it. So people actually follow those beliefs and believe in those everybody knows it's just, which is crazy. Everybody knows wasn't no white people in Middle Africa, but they control everything. You know why? Because they had to control the whole Bible. So and they took that and manipulated and they made
Jared,
it.
I'm gonna ask it.
And that's what we all
don't
want.
do none of these crazy ass conspiracy theories. I leave off. It's a crazy ass conspiracy theory. I come back, page. I'll talk about the Bible.
Exactly. Because they use these conspiracy theory. The Bible's a conspiracy theory.
So when can I yell? When can I tell the people who fast forward that's okay to stop?
They said the Bible. They bitch over here.
But they get a tingling all in their nuts, where they nuts get bored.
All right, now how do we go to the Bible to regular sex?
I don't know how you made from where Jared was to the Bible either. I was confused.
All right, well, let's get into some news.
You missed the good part of the show here.
Yeah, Aaron.
Nah, I don't think I missed anything. I'm okay.